Hey up, chatter gang.
Welcome to Friday night's chat.
I'll get the date right this week. This was recorded on the 18th of August 2023.
And now we're going to start off, Tim, by talking about the videos that we've posted this week.
Let's do that.
So the first one that we posted was the Pleasure Beach.
It was. How did you find the Pleasure Beach, Colin?
I found it absolutely brilliant from start to finish. I don't think you can go wrong with the Pleasure Beach. The value for money for one getting in. All the rides that you've got, the mixture of rides, you've got some thrills, you've got some old rides, you've got the knuckle roller coasters. They're all together. There's no walking distance involved. Everyone who's in there is in there for the rides. There's not people just walking about just because they can. I love it. It's good value for money as well, I think.
We dropped lucky as well, didn't we? Because that weekend that we were in Blackpool, it just chucked it down from when we arrived until when we left the hotel. But we filmed it on our last day, and it was a lovely day, wasn't it? But also, the park was very quiet. We didn't have to do much queuing or anything. We got on rides pretty much straight away.
It was. Now, we had intentions of doing filming and not queuing up in the ride. So after the last experience we had at the Pleasure Beach, the Icon had only been opened relatively newish, hadn't it?
Yeah.
And the queues to get onto Icon the last time we went I think we were in the queue for 3 hours, and this time around we said, no, let's not. We bought the Speedy Pass, which was £25 each. And you're right, Tim, we didn't really have to use it, did we?
Didn't really. No, but had it been busy, I think it might have been worth it.
Yeah, and for the simplicity of having to just how the Speedy Pass works is you put it on your app, and then you select which ride you want to go on, and it puts you on a virtual queue. So it'll put you on a countdown and tell you that you've got to go to the ride in 30 minutes. But then you're free to spend 30 minutes going on other rides, knowing for full well, but you can go on that ride. There is a deluxe version of the Speedy Pass where you can go straight up to the queue without going into any virtual rides, but what we had was sufficient, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, it was fine.
What were your thoughts on the Pleasure Beach?
I loved it. I had a really good day. I was not going on Valhalla because I know you get soaked, and we'd been soaked enough that weekend, and it was the first dry day of the weekend, and I thought I've just been wet enough, but you braved it, didn't you, love?
I went on Valhalla because I didn't want to think that I was going to be shortchanged, and I know a couple of the chatter gang had mentioned Valhalla, and I did want to go on. I wanted to go on to see how much it had changed since they've made some improvements to it and changes to it. I must say, though, I was so disappointed. The ride, it just seems to like you don't get wet. You're on the ride for at least 10 minutes, and during that 10 minutes, there's a lot of frightening stuff involved, as in it's in the pitch black and you don't know what's coming towards you, which is good. But then you only get wet in certain places, and when you do get wet, you get absolutely drenched. And it felt like my feet were just sat in water all the way through that ride. Would I go on it again? No.
No. Okay. So then on Sunday, we went to Wakefield.
Wakefield Pride, Shaky Wakey, which is just, if any of the chatter gang don't know where Wakefield is, it's situated just outside, it's in between Barnsley and Leeds, West Yorkshire. It's a city. What more else can we say about Wakefield?
Yeah, not much really. We're not really that familiar with Wakefield, although we are a little bit familiar. Having said that, when we arrived, they've done so much development. I didn't really recognise it. I didn't get my bearings at all because it was almost completely different to the last time that I went there. However, Pride, to say the size of Wakefield, the size that it is, it's quite small, the Pride. The parade lasted 5 or 10 minutes. I have to say it wasn't very well coordinated, I don't think. Everything seemed to be just lumped together. You couldn't really distinguish which groups were which. And then the main stage, it was really good that they had Nicky French and Sword is Secret, who are top rate presenters, that they held it together really well. But then the acts were all local acts, and I don't think they have the experience to hold the crowd like a proper professional artist has. What did you think?
No, I did feel like some of the artists were struggling to get that engagement with the crowd, and in most of the time, it felt like you were just listening to a backing track and not actually listening to the singer. I got the feel that the Pride March, basically after the front car that went past, which was Sordid and Nicky,
Yeah.
I think it was free fall for anybody apart from who was holding the flag. And the majorettes, I think it was free fall for everybody to just stand behind and walk in the parade. It was I felt all the parade was very community driven, as in the people that was there. You could tell. I don't think many people come outside of Wakefield to go to the Pride.
Yes.
Not so much like Leeds. I suppose Leeds gets the benefit of getting people from Wakefield and all the other towns, knowing that it's a really big Pride.
People come from all over Yorkshire, don't they, and beyond to Leeds Pride. But yes, I get that.
Yeah. I did feel the two LGBT pubs in Wakefield were having their kind of own mini prides, which you would expect of any LGBT pubs on Pride weekend. There was such a good atmosphere in both of the pubs, really, weren't there?
There was, yes. I like it when the bars put in the effort as well. I think that helps to make Pride when they do that.
Yeah. Both the LGBT pubs in Wakefield one is the Rainbow and the other is New Union, and we've put a little bit of a guide as to where they are inside the last video of Wakefield Pride. So do check them out if you're unsure of the LGBT venues. And there is also a new cafe that's opened up recently at the bottom of Kirkgate as well, which is well worth checking out.
Absolutely. But overall, we had a good day, didn't we?
We did.
It started off raining, but it brightened up later in the afternoon. And it was a good atmosphere. People were certainly enjoying it. I think it was a good day.
Yeah, the overall experience, I would have loved to have had a couple of pints and got involved more in the atmosphere. However, I was too hungover from the night before, which we'll tell you about in a bit.
We will, but first, let's talk about this week's walk-along video.
Yeah, the walk-along video that we've posted was a video that we filmed just after leaving the zoo, and I wanted to test the new camera that we've recently bought, which is supposed to be waterproof, and by heck did it stand up to the test, because
Yeah, pity we didn't.
it was absolutely soaking it down. You can't really tell rain on videos, but oh my god, please, chatter guys, we got absolutely soaked, and we've both got umbrellas.
It was. But I was really surprised how popular the video was, because we had a really good conversion rate from people looking at the thumbnail online to actually clicking on it. There was a lot of interest in it. Because the picture that we put on was just you and me under an umbrella, and it didn't look great because it was chucking it down, but people seemed to like it.
Yeah.
So, and the weather pretty much had been like that all weekend, hadn't it?
We did have a comment to say that some of the shops looked shut, but the time that we filmed that video was roughly around about between 3 and 4 o'clock. So whether or not shops had just had enough of the rain, which I really couldn't blame them, because it did rain like there was no tomorrow.
Well, before we shot that video earlier in the day, absolutely. I mean, it was chucking it down when we filmed that, but it was even worse earlier in the day.
Yeah.
I don't blame. I can't imagine people would have voluntarily been just wandering around the shops in that.
No.
I think the bars did really well that day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what videos have we got coming up this week?
Right, the first video that we've got coming up on Sunday is a Blackpool Zoo. Now, when we mentioned just then about the rain and how bad it were, the rain that come down just before we got into the zoo, oh my, it was torrential rain. You can see from some of the videos that we'll be posting in that Blackpool Zoo, it was like a monsoon, literally. We didn't want to get off the bus, did we?
Literally, I have not seen rain like that since we were in Thailand.
No.
It was, monsoon is right. It was just sheeting down. There was flooding, wasn't it? It was coming up
Yeah.
out of the drains. We got off the bus and we didn't come out of the bus shelter for about 40 minutes. It was just raining so hard. We just sat there, and because we did say if the bus turns up while we're in the shelter, we're just going to get on and go back. But
It didn't.
it didn't.
We're true Yorkshiremen. We'd already pre-booked the tickets, so we didn't want to waste our money. And also, I felt a bit sorry for the animals because I didn't think anybody would actually be in the zoo. But actually, when we got in there was quite a few people in. They must have had the same idea as what we had. But that zoo is, you'll see from the video. I know some people have thoughts on that. Some people's opinions on zoos are a good thing, some people's are a bad thing. However, the facilities in that zoo, I thought they were spot on for both visitors and the animals as
They
well.
seem to be, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not experts, but I think they seem to do all they can to make the habitats as comfortable as they can for the animals.
Yeah. So do please check out that video. What else have we got coming up on we'll be posting one on Tuesday this week, won't we?
We will. On Tuesday, we've got Calderdale Pride.
We're going to be visiting. Is it our last Pride this year? We have.
It is. We can't go to Scarborough Pride because we're going to be in Benidorm when that's on.
Wow.
But so this is going to be our last Pride video. I'm really looking forward to it. We're doing it a little bit differently. All the other Pride videos, we've been there at the start and filmed the parade if there's been a parade. There's not a parade in Calderdale, which is in Halifax, Happy Valley. So we're going to go a little bit later in the day and we're going to be filming the evening acts. In particular, Nikki French is appearing, Eurovision superstar. We did film her on the Wakefield video, and one of our subscribers, Quick Clips, actually showed it to Nikki French, so she's actually seen one of our videos. So I was very excited about that.
Wow. Now, I know you're a Eurovision fanatic, Tim, and I have heard of Nikki French's name. Can you just remind me of the song from Eurovision, please?
I can. Would you like me to sing it? I'll just tell you the title.
You can sing it for us, please.
Don't play that song again. Dee 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 dee. It was called Don't Play That Song Again.
Right,
It's
okay.
very good.
Now, I do remember that song. However, did Nikki French sing another song that she's famous for?
She's done lots of covers. She did, I think her most famous one is Total Eclipse of the Heart.
I remember that,
She's
yeah.
covered some Eurovision songs as well.
Has she done some dancey songs?
Oh yeah, it's always disco sort of.
I think that's where I'm more familiar with Nikki French rather
Proper
than...
gay music,
I
I
think
would
this
say.
is where I'm more familiar with Nikki French rather than Eurovision.
Yes, she's really, really popular on the LGBT plus scene.
Oh, so I'm quite looking forward to watching Nikki French on
She'll
Saturday.
put on an amazing show, because I've seen her a few times. You might not remember, but we saw her once years and years ago when we were in Gran Canaria for Pride. Do you remember we were standing up on that balcony and she'd be a little dot on the stage because we were so far away?
Yeah,
I do. She was there.
Yeah, I do kind of remember that. Yeah.
So yes, I was very excited that she could see our video. So I'm looking forward to seeing her again.
And finally, we've got the Thursday tea time video, which will be a night walk in Blackpool. And we filmed it walking from Coral Beach Amusements, and we ended up
At Talbot Square.
We ended up at Talbot Square. Yes,
just
we
by
did.
the North Pier.
Yeah. So you'll get a different aspect of what it's like in Blackpool on an evening. So there's that to look forward to as well. And I think that's more or less our highlights of the videos that we've...
It is.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to this week, Colin? Oh, you were talking earlier about feeling a little bit delicate at Wakefield Pride. Would you like to tell us about that?
I will. So our friend Drew, who lives in Benidorm, surprised us by coming to Leeds Pride, and unbeknown to us, he's come over for a couple of weeks. So he's back home now in Benidorm, but we decided to take him out for a meal on Saturday night with another friend. We went for a lovely Thai meal in Mummy Thai, and we've done a video on that. We were sat in a different place in the restaurant. We were sat right above the kitchen. Learner's lesson on that one. But we had a couple of pints in the restaurant, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, and then afterwards we went out we went into Pacos for a couple of drinks. But then the thing is with Drew is so much like us, Drew. It doesn't know when to stop.
No, it doesn't.
There's no time frame of when the evening's going to come to a close. It'll be basically it could be 1 it could be 10 o'clock, it could be 11 o'clock, it could be 4 o'clock in the morning, it could be 6 o'clock in the morning. There's just no limit to say no, I've had enough. That's enough. But then the other part of Drew is, and I love Drew, but he'll disappear. Next thing you know, you'll see a tray coming along, and you've got to face Black Sambuca.
Yeah, he does like his shots.
It does like his shots. Now, normally they're mixed up with Red Bull. This time it's just Black Sambuca. When you've had a few Black Sambucas, that's when your night starts to rock. We ended up in New Penny, and I said, in Gran Canaria you get treated to a shot of vodka. Is it vodka caramel?
Caramel vodka, yes.
Caramel vodka. Thinking that they wouldn't have this caramel vodka in Penny. Oh, yeah, they did. They had vodka caramel. So I had to buy a round of vodka caramel. It weren't just one round. We had quite a few rounds of vodka caramels. We were buying them for random strangers that they were in the bar. Drew were buying his rounds of Sambuca. You were buying rounds of Tequila Rose, yeah. Tequila Rose, on top of the normal drinks that we were drinking. I got up on Sunday morning, Tim says, I'll not be able to drive to Wakefield Pride. I couldn't even get out of bed, so there were nowhere where I was driving to Wakefield Pride. I had to get a taxi from our house to Wakefield, which is about 10, 12, 15 miles.
Something like that, yeah.
I know it's probably a bit less, actually. It's not that far, really, from our house. But, oh, my God, did I not feel it? I didn't feel myself until we'd left Pride and sat on the train coming back home. I was in a right tackle.
So the moral of the story
is...
Drew is a bad influence, and unfortunately we're very easily led.
We are. However, this is a fact for you, Chatter Gang. Tim does not suffer from hangovers. Can you believe that?
I do not suffer from hangovers. No, the only thing is that we were really... I've no idea what time we got home that night, but...
Pass.
It was well late, and the only thing I suffer from is being tired, and that's just through not having sleep, but I don't get hangovers. No. So there you go. You had a little experiment this week, didn't you, Colin?
Experimenting?
Yes, in the kitchen.
Did I?
Yeah, you tried... you taped yourself doing some cooking.
Oh, I was practicing an idea that I thought that we would do some cooking videos because when it comes up to autumn time, winter time, we might be a bit restricted on getting out and filming. So I thought it would be a good idea to do a practice session doing a bit of cooking. So I want to ask the Chatter Gang, do you think there might be some interest to have some cooking videos?
Well, it was really strange while you were doing it because I was in the other room, I was doing some editing on the videos, and I could just hear you talking to yourself, like telling people, and this is how I'm chopping up the onions. And I'm like,
no, I didn't.
What is wrong with him?
I didn't give any demonstrations. I'd already pre-cooked.
Oh, that's right. You were telling people that you pre-cooked the...
Yes.
I was like, what?
There was no way I was going to be cutting veg up in front of the camera. No, absolutely not. However, I did find it... a little bit entertaining, but also, what's the word I'm thinking of? When you're learning somebody something. I found it...
Educational?
Educational and entertaining. So, we're not going to put that video out, Tim won't let me. But give us your thoughts, Chattergang, on whether you would appreciate some cooking videos. There you go.
Can I tell people about the book I've been reading this week?
Please tell us about your book, Tim.
Well, I haven't been reading it because, as I've told you before, I prefer audiobooks, so I've been listening to it. And the book that I've listened to this week, and I have finished it, so I know what the ending is, it was Electra, and it was written by Jennifer Saint. And what it is, it's a retelling of a Greek tragedy based around the Trojan War. And it's written from the point of view of three women, one of them being Electra, and the other one being her mother, who was called Clytemnestra. And Clytemnestra was the sister of Helen of Troy, who caused the whole Trojan War. And the third narrator was Cassandra, who was a soothsayer from Troy. Really, really enjoyed listening to the book. However, I have to say, this Electra, most miserable character I've ever come across. I loved Clytemnestra. She reminded me a lot of... Do you remember Alexis Colby from Dynasty?
I can't remember Alexis.
I was just picturing her the whole way through. But if you like Greek tragedies, really entertainingly written. I really enjoyed it. So that gives... that's got my recommendation. That's Electra by Jennifer Saint.
Wow. Now, there is one point I'd like to raise. It's football.
I'm going to go.
No, listen to me. It's women's football. It's the Women's World Cup final on Sunday morning. It will be from Sydney, and England are in the final playing against Spain. Kick-off is at 11 o'clock if anyone's interested. Now, the debate is, if England wins, which they've got a very good chance of winning, there's calls for there to be a bank holiday, because when England was favourites to win the World Cup in the last time they were playing Italy and lost in the final, the government declared that there would be a bank holiday if England won. So, why are they not playing ball and giving us a bank holiday if the women's football win the World Cup? And I think this needs to be sorted out. It's discrimination against women, basically.
Well, I can see you're riled up about this.
Well,
are you riled up about women not getting equal treatment, or the chance of losing out on a bank holiday?
Both.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I only got interested in that when you said there's a chance of an extra bank holiday.
Well, there's not now. The government has made it quite clear there will not be a bank holiday should England women
It's just
win
one
the
rule
World
for
Cup.
one and a different rule for someone else.
Well, it's
isn't
disgraceful behaviour.
Shocking. Okay.
So is there anything else that you would like to cover, Tim?
I'd like to talk about some of the comments that we receive from not subscribers, some of the mean comments that we receive.
Yeah, we always seem to get some really mean comments when we put a Pride video up.
Anything to do with LGBT plus. The first comment, these aren't so much mean. I totally respect people's right to express their opinion.
Absolutely.
The first negative comment that we ever got was when we published that short about Trans Awareness Day, and we got quite a few people sending us Bible quotes, which are great. I respect their beliefs, and I guess they're thinking that they might be helping us, like putting us on the right path. But this week we got a really mean comment. It was about us being insincere and having fake smiles, and that felt like a personal attack rather than someone expressing their views about our lifestyle.
I don't think this were on an LGBT video, though, was it?
It wasn't. It was on the Pleasure Beach video.
All right. Okay. Oh, yeah. Someone said we had fake smiles, and what else were it?
Insincere comments or something they said.
And I'm like, wow.
I can't help my face.
And the minute we start being fake on the videos is the minute we stop filming.
Absolutely, yeah. If you think we're being fake, just unsubscribe, because there's no point if you're not yourself. What's the point of doing a vlog?
Yeah. I'm not. The minute we start doing videos, well, listen, we could post videos. I know that we could post videos, and our subscribers would go up through the roof, and the views would go through the roof. But that's not what we're about, is it?
No, we don't do clickbait.
No, we don't do clickbait.
And we don't do things to be controversial. We just we just tell it like it is. And I think by doing it that way, and I've seen other channels achieve it, you get slower growth, but because people trust you, they stick with you. It's not kind of like up and down.
Yeah.
But
Chettigang, I can assure you, there weren't fake smiles on the Pleasure Beach. The smiles that we got was out of the enjoyment of being on the Pleasure Beach. Absolutely.
Yeah, and to be fair, I wasn't smiling all the time. Certainly not. I've been on that bloody infusion.
Oh, the Revolution. Oh my God, that were a bad one.
You were scared on I was fine with the Revolution, but infusion, I just felt like I'd been kicked about. Someone said, why didn't we go on the Grand National. Well, I remember the last time I went on the Grand National, and that was just as bad as Infusion for being kicked about on it. I was not going on that one again. Having said that, 99.99% of the comments that we receive are all lovely. We love receiving them. They're always positive, saying how much they like the channel, coming up with ideas, or asking us questions about things. I love going through the comments and answering them. Even I answered someone who asked us how old we were this week, Colin.
Yes, so definitely keep the comments coming because we do love to hear from you.
Yeah, please do.
And did we tell them his ages?
I just knocked a couple of years off yours, Colin.
Oh, thank you.
No, I didn't. I told them how old you are.
There was one last topic that I wanted to cover, and that was tonight's weather. We've got the second storm of the year called Storm Betty, and we're only in August, and there's supposed to be tonight half a month's worth of rain falling tonight. So I hope everyone's safe from Storm Betty, with winds of up to 70
miles an hour. Yes, I saw that. We are going to miss the worst of it, according to the forecast in Yorkshire. I think it's going to be worst in Northern Ireland, so Neve, get your wellies on.
Yeah.
And in the south, I think it's going to be worse. But hopefully, it's all going to be dried up by the time we see Nicky French tomorrow night in Calderdale.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So I think that's as much as what we can talk about on this Friday night chat. We hope you do like the podcast. If you do, please give us a thumbs up. Oh, we have been asked if we could do it as a live with a video, but we've not learnt how to do that yet. It's something that we might be thinking about doing in the future, but not just right now. However, if you do like the podcast, please give us a thumbs up, and if you don't want to miss out on any of our future episodes, please subscribe if you are new to the channel, because it'll cost you
absolutely nought. Thanks for listening, Chatter Gang. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Night night.